Welcome, Fantastics Universe, to your number one podcast, the show that gives you the latest information, formation, and whatever you need football wise. Hanging in the studio as usual with my one and only co host, the octopus of worldwide, Sabubu El Kun, the man sitting lonely at the top.
I don't know what he's talking about, but I greet you all. Welcome back from a weekend of comebacks.
Indeed.
Comebacks in the sense that a certain club in London were 2 goals down, but we saw what it means to be resilient and, in quotes,
Resilient.
to be called invitational world champions. They won against West Ham.
Sorry. You say to be called what?
Invitational world champions.
Let them invite you, let's see. Let them invite your club. You put up using world champions.
So Chelsea 3, West Ham 2. For United, they almost threw it away. But that last minute strike by Benjamin Sesko showed
there was still some life and some spirit.
Showed why Amorim was the problem.
Indeed.
And not the players.
Indeed.
For us now, they made the job quite easy. We thought it was going to be a battle at Ellen Road, but it was more like a controlled performance by the Gunners. Then for Newcastle, I really do not know what to say about them. Same with Aston Villa and Man City. Man City Spurs was a match of 2 different halves. City in the first half, Tottenham in the second half. Then Bayern Munich drew away at Hamburg. We really do not know what Bayern are up to, but it's obvious they will still win the Bundesliga.
They should.
Because it's just a 6 points, that will be reduced to 6 points. But which of these German teams can meet up to that challenge? We don't know. Borussia Dortmund are very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Leipzig is as good as gone. And who else? Bayern Leverkusen
and
is...
Mönchengladbach, they are not really there.
Then for Spain, we saw people say it's a dubious penalty, but a penalty is a penalty. Real Madrid winning by 2 goals to 1. Then Barcelona beat Elche away 3-1. And the irony of that match is, this same match, the last time they played, it was 3-1, and it was the same players that scored the goal.
So it seems they just brought out,
Installed
the match from the last version that they used.
Sure.
But it was an interesting weekend in general, and like you said, most of the intrigue was in the Premier League. Moving on from the Champions League results, which we also saw some statement performances. Saw 5 English teams qualify for the knockout rounds. Very impressive. Make progress.
4 made progress.
4 made progress. Direct qualification, and then one is playing the going through the playoff route.
The draws have been done.
Yeah, so it was pretty interesting. You're talking about comebacks. Chelsea did a comeback job in Naples, and I believe that gave them belief that they could do it again, which they did against West Ham. A lot of us comparing and contrasting. Last time on the show, you made a comment about Chelsea fans not liking Maresca. Just like I can now confidently say Man United fans won't like Amorim from what they are seeing. It's not about the pedigree, the reputation, the personality. It's about results. Results speak for themselves. And let's make no mistake about it. Rosinio will also struggle. There will be a time where, they might figure him out. They might figure out his tactics, and he's going to, there'll be a dip in form. It happens. But, when you see a manager that knows how to get the basic calls right, when he makes a mistake, he owns up to it. In Naples, he started, a lone centre-back in Wesley Fofana, flanked him with James and Cucurella. And Chelsea were slaughtered in the first half. He adjusted. Same against West Ham. Threw on 3 changes at the break and arrested the slide of his team. So that's what you want to see from your manager, and kudos to him. Young man is making a name for himself.
Napoli are the champions of Italy, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at quality-wise, you can't really compare them to some teams in the Premiership. Now, those changes are showing effect in games, the 2 games where we have seen. Now, what about if he's playing a top-notch opponent and the first half goes that bad? Do you think there are always chances for that comeback to take place or an improved performance by the team in the second half?
you won't always have it your way. There are some days that luck is also involved. Luck shines upon you, lady luck shines upon you, and you get your results. But the most important thing there is the belief that we can do it. I assure you that against some lowly teams, Chelsea wouldn't have survived. And let's remember this: he made history in almost 40 years or about. Chelsea has never come back from 2 goals down at halftime to win a match. So no matter who the opponent is, that in itself is impressive. It's a mindset, and that's one of the things Chelsea has been lacking for some time. They have a very feeble mindset. So to see them, in the space of a week, launch 2 comebacks, I mean, that's something to
Well,
applaud.
for me, I think they should avoid all those
Having to
comebacks
come back, of course,
because
every team wants to
because
avoid having to come back.
it's not something that will happen all the time. You understand? Because when you're trying to come back in the match, you're going to exert a lot of energy. First of all, you'll be the one playing more because you're the one that needs to score. Now, as at then, it's not about control; it's about getting back in the game. I know he's a new coach; it's a new territory for him, and we hope to see good things ahead because I always say it: Chelsea have a very good squad. It is the person that
Manages.
sails that
Mm,
ship
mm.
that has the main job to do. The players are not stubborn, so they will always buy into what the manager is telling them. Maresca was an unknown coach per se, but the players listened to him because majority of what was happening on the pitch was basically what he was telling them from the bench.
Dressing, yeah.
Now, for Spurs versus Man City, before that match, there was an outrage online where people said this is the only club in the world that wants to lose a match because they don't want their opponent, they don't want their rivals to win
To win.
or go ahead of them, which is something everybody has said. Because remember a couple of years ago, that match that they needed to avoid defeat
Yeah.
against City, and they were just banging the ball over the net over and over again. Thomas Frank realized that he's closer to relegation than European places, first of all in the league. Because before the match started, they were 15th. And he knew that a defeat for him was the exit door was getting closer for him. Pep, after the match, made a statement that the momentum changed. We agree. But this is Man City, for God's sake. This is Man City, for God's sake. The elite team of
England.
the best team in the last 10 years in
the,
England.
of the
A
decade.
team that can put on 15 straight games without losing a match. They might just do 15 wins and 1 draw. And look at what happened. Remember, they just bought players again. I saw on X a City supporter started complaining about Gray. Remember, I said, when did you guys buy this guy? They're already complaining about him.
Yeah.
You have a Semenyo that is a dream for any of the top 6 teams.
I think Pep's City they are suffering from one of the maladies of champions, of teams that have dominated for a long time. Which one is the
No, I'm listening to you speak.
Sabu, when you give me that look sometimes, you
No.
just be like, this one, okay, sorry. They are suffering from one of the sickness of teams that have dominated for a long time. And that is after that level of dominance, there's always a period of depression. You have to rebuild, and that rebuild might not be easy. It
Yeah,
always happens
see,
with dominant
see,
teams. The likes of AC Milan, the
the-
likes of Inter, Barcelona, Real Madrid, they all suffer
I
that.
agree what you're saying, but see, I always tell people, let us look at. I'll use Sir Alex Ferguson as a thesis in this discussion. He built 4 different United teams. Check the history. 4 different United teams that won trophies, 4 different eras. What did he do? And if you start to look at what Arteta is doing, he's already building a new team in case maybe some players are now injury prone, or there's this rumor of transfer, or maybe the players have lost, maybe a player loses his or her way. Why am I saying this? Look at what Sir Alex did. His teams were winning, but he was bedding in new players almost immediately because he knew that core of that team would not last forever.
Mm.
Now, United He built United to a point that they became the richest club, so they could afford to buy players. United were buying players for 40 million, which was world transfer back then. Many teams couldn't do it. Pep has this money. He's so obsessed in his ways that if he forgot to realize that he needed to build a new team. How can you allow Kelvin stretch towards the end of his career like that, and you didn't get someone to understand him all this while?
They had Foden. They had Foden.
Ironically, they were not playing the same wing.
No, I think basically is in midfield attacking.
Foden
midfield.
was supposed to be the heir to Kelvin, but he played him in another wing and he flourished there and forgot that this was the main person here. You understand?
So I think one of the things that might, no disrespect to Sir Alex Ferguson and his era of dominance in the Premier League, but the quality of the Premier League, the quality of the opposition during the days of Sir Alex is different from now. The Premier League is now more prosperous. Teams are the likes of Wolves, the likes of Crystal Palace can afford to agree a transfer for 48 million for a striker. The likes of Everton can afford to spend money as if they can buy 6-7 players. Nottingham Forest. So this is where the league has gotten tougher. So that transition that could have been done, that because of your strength, you would have papered the cracks.
But
they go expose you.
Yes, the league has gotten stronger. Remember, when you're an elite team and you want to buy a player, and you say, "I am Pep Guardiola. I'm the coach of Man City. Come to Man City." Then Ariola will say, "I'm the coach of Bournemouth. Come to Bournemouth." Which team would you go to?
It depends on what your goals are.
No, I'm making you understand.
No, to be honest, it depends on what your goals are.
A lot of
I'll tell you why.
Wait, let me finish.
Okay.
Now. Because these coaches, when they want to sign you, they are the ones that pitch to you. They tell you what and what's expected of you, where and where the team is going to.
And where they see you in it.
A lot of these players that come to the Premiership don't actually come for football reasons. Because Premiership has so much money. A Sunderland has the same budget of a Borussia Dortmund, which is an elite team in Germany. So if maybe they play football now, and Dortmund come, no one knows who will play championship football every week. Then one team in the Premiership comes and gives us £200,000 a week. Borussia Dortmund is giving you €100,000. Which one will you go to?
I'll go Dortmund.
I rest my case.
Now why we won't go break, go settle this case. You say you believe me. Guys, make sure you're following Fantastic's podcast on all platforms. We go for a short break and we'll be back to talk about more of football.
Across the continent of Europe, a lot of teams will be vying for trophies. In England, we have the League Cup, aka the Plastic Cup. Germany.
When you win them now, we no go rest. So
in Germany,
if you win them.
In Germany,
because I have something to say.
In Germany, they call it the DFB Cup. That is their own FA Cup. In Spain, it's called Copa del Rey. In France, it is called Coupe de France.
No go they shout coupe anyhow. I beg.
Okay, no. Coupe de France. Coupe de France.
Coupe de Français. Because if you hear coupe earlier now, you get it.
So the quarterfinal was Copa del Rey. Albacete will take on Barcelona.
Yeah.
And that same Tuesday, it will be the Battle of the London Giants, the return leg of the League Cup between Arsenal and Chelsea. First leg ended 3-2 in favor of Arsenal. Then in DFB Cup in Germany, it is Bayern Leverkusen and St. Pauli. We all know how that match will go. Then, according to my co-host, Renz, Coupe de France. Reims versus Le Mans. Yeah. And Marseille will take on Rennes. So let's just run through two tough matches. Albacete, Barcelona, and Arsenal, Chelsea.
Yeah, two tough matches. Albacete versus Barcelona will be tough for Albacete.
But you know that when it comes to cup matches, form is thrown out. You saw a lot of teams that lost in the last round. Even I think
let me inform you
Real Madrid
that if they like, let them throw the form. Barcelona is not losing to Albacete. And in fact, they'll ring the changes. They'll bring the likes of the Casados and those guys that are not seeing playing time. The Rooney Badges. the Ferran Torreses, they will play and they'll still beat them.
So
That's how life is.
it's a
So it's a
Barca
tough match for Albacete.
Then what about
Yes.
Arsenal Chelsea?
Arsenal Chelsea is a game that is finely poised. It's a game that is finely poised. Unfortunately, as confident as I am that Chelsea can get a win in that match, they might not get it at a margin that can work out qualification for them. That's all I'm saying.
You never answered my question. When you say Chelsea can get a win in that match, where are you? What are you
Meandering to.
Yes, explain to the viewers, let them understand what you're saying. No,
You
for real.
You won't yet talk from my mouth. No, really, I kind of feel like Chelsea can get a result, right? But it might not be enough to see them qualify. By that, I mean, it might get to penalties.
Or it might
They
end in
might-
a draw.
Yeah, or it might get in the. They are going to have a tough match against Arsenal.
No.
Arsenal has all to play for now, and they have the squad.
You know,
Unlike Chelsea is losing, is without Esteval. Gittins is now injured. So, they'll be patching up the squad. They're still managing Kopama's minutes. And,
but injuries have been the in thing for every team this season.
Of course. It's
not even particular to one team. A lot of teams, okay, look at the match over the weekend. City still lost one more player again to injury. I've forgotten the player's name. Saka was doing his warm-up.
And he got injured.
So,
yeah.
It depends on, I always say it, the coach has a very big role to play in team psychology and team management. And I think, and a coach's background is very important. Some coaches know that it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Rosinha will come good. I have that belief. It's going to be a tough nut to crack in the Premiership as time goes on. Because he's not a coach that likes to sit back. He comes at you. I just hope as he does that, he can balance attack and defense. Because once you don't do that, you now become like a Bournemouth or Leeds that will just keep attacking.
Well, they used to balance it until they stole all their players. So sometimes the quality just tells. But like you said, Rosinho is a coach that you could call a pioneer. He's a young black coach. He's coaching at a level where you seldom see black coaches, even the experienced ones. So we are all rooting for him to succeed one way or the other, even though we are rivals, But when you see young black coaches, I mean, you want them to.
Before I talk about one of these matches, Mourinho made a statement that did really gain traction because people felt he has come again. He's looking for relevance. Let me use that word. He said a lot of big clubs now employ coaches that have done nothing in their careers. What is your take on that? I need your honest.
To be honest, he made that comment in his pre-match conference ahead of Real Madrid's
trying to spite
visit
Real Madrid coach
to
Arbeloa. That's his name.
So he was trying to, he complimented Arbeloa before throwing his usual shades. And I'm sorry to say, Jose, but you are wrong. You are very wrong. Now, we look at some of the best coaches that have defined this era, and you see that they came from obscurity, they came from nowhere to get the jobs that they got.
Can I just tell you two of them?
Go ahead.
Pep Guardiola
one,
and Luis Enrique.
Talk about Zinedine Zidane. Mm-hmm. He came from the bench. He had zero experience, and he got the job done. Arteta came as an assistant from Manchester City. He didn't have any body of work to prove that he could manage at that level, and he has caught it. So I don't understand.
Maresca.
Good. Vincent Kompany came from a Burnley, but he's doing it at the highest levels. So how do you define somebody having when Mourinho came from FC Porto? What reputation did he have? Okay, maybe he won the Champions League.
No, Porto took a risk
on him. Yes, he was just a translator.
He was fired by Benfica.
So Jose is always controversial, whether you like it or not, in one way or the other. But I categorically debunk that claim that most of these guys are coming from nowhere and they didn't deserve the jobs they got. Roy Keane is also implying the same thing about Michael Carrick, that no matter, even if he wins all his games till the end of the season, that Manchester United should not give him the permanent job.
Well,
that is
you
BS.
Remember that everywhere he has been fired.
That's who? Roy Keane. Oh, I thought you meant no, Roy Keane. Most of these guys are jealous because they didn't get these opportunities.
For Roy Keane, he had the opportunity. He coached Sunderland in the Premiership. Remember that. He brought them from the championship.
His bad temperament.
He was assistant coach in Ireland. He fell out with them. They've had the opportunities to be coaches. Gary Neville was in Valencia. He was fired. Wayne Rooney was a coach for like 3 hours or 4 hours. I can't remember.
It's okay, now it's okay. Like this small thing, I don't deflect. It should be 3 hours. But generally, that's it. But most of these guys, they knew at that age or at a certain age, they were not getting these opportunities
Yes.
at this level of clubs. And they are jealous.
Big
Now
time.
jealousy, now they more now.
Sorry. So Wednesday matches: Copa del Rey, Deportivo Alaves versus Real Sociedad, and Valencia Athletic Club Bilbao.
Well, I just see goals in that match.
The 4 teams they
Goals.
know
They are
themselves.
open, so there'll be goals.
Then Man City, Newcastle, return leg, Etihad. First leg, City 2, Newcastle 0. Are you saying it's as good as gone?
Of course not. We have seen that City can be hurt. Newcastle will be coming in with some belief, even though they themselves, they suffered a little in their fixture. But I'll still back Man City to go through.
Inter got to the final of the Coppa Italia last season. They lost to Bologna, if I'm correct. Inter got to the final of the Champions League and they lost scandalously to PSG. On the last day of the Serie A, they went in with a chance to win it and they lost to Napoli. So they lost all 3 titles on the last day.
In the space of 2 weeks. About.
Now, they're on the match again. They're leading the Serie A with 6 points, pending when Roma plays. And they have a Coppa Italia quarterfinals against Torino. Do you think this season they can make the double in Italy?
I believe they can. The level of inconsistency with their competition is what determines. Although for Cup, like you said, when it comes to Cup matches, form might go out through the window. We can see that, Juventus are improving and they could mount a serious challenge for trophies such as that. So until we get to, maybe the semis, the finals, we might not tell, depending on the opposition. But they are best placed to make it that
so
far.
That means you're sure that they can get
No,
one.
they'll get a result against
Torino
Torino.
because they're playing at home.
They will.
Then for Thursday, the battle of the wannabes, Atlanta Juventus in Coppa Italia quarterfinals.
I think Juventus have the edge. They are going to win.
I believe you because over the weekend, the way they dismantled Panama was efficient.
And anyways, with my boy gone from Atlanta, I don't have any business. They can go to Bowlerash for all I care.
Then the Premiership starts on Friday night. Leeds, Nottingham Forest.
I see a Leeds win or draw in that fixture.
Do you think they can regroup after what happened to them against Arsenal? They're a very good team. They play very well.
No, we are not putting it in the right context. Arsenal are the most consistent team this season. I don't expect anything less than a thrashing for Leeds. But for other people, Leeds will worry them.
You remember that before last week we said that a lot of pundits were saying Leeds had not really lost a match. That's instead of they've beaten top sides there.
Yeah.
You understand? They drew with Newcastle. No, they drew with United, drew with Liverpool, beat Chelsea, beat one other team in that same stadium.
Yeah.
So people said, Arsenal are in for a collecting. But we saw what happened. But you're sure against Nottingham Forest, they have a chance.
I expect a Leeds win or draw in that fixture.
Then on Saturday, we have some banana skin matches where if you don't concentrate for 90 minutes, anything you see, you take. United starts with the lunchtime kickoff against Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford. Is this a test for Carrick? Or you think he will just steamroll Tottenham?
I think Carrick started with the test. Or maybe let's put it like this. Carrick started with the exam. Now continuous assessment, now in the right. And I don't think continuous assessment will continue to trouble him as much as the matches he has faced. Confidence is key.
The match against Fulham exposed a lot about United.
No, of course it did. But like we said last time on the show, they need to just build momentum, get the result, which is the most important part. The performances will be forgotten. The 3 points will not, because that is what determines where they finish at the end of the season. So I think he can get one over Tottenham. Tottenham are awful. Make no mistake about it. Forget about the result against City.
Let's leave City out of
this.
They play better away from home.
No, of course. And in Europe, they do marvelously well. But like I said, leave that result. Tottenham, I don't think they will trouble. They might play, but I don't think they are going away with anything
Now,
from Old Trafford.
can Aston Villa beat
Arrest their
Bournemouth?
slide.
They're playing Bournemouth, and you know how Bournemouth is.
Mm.
They come at you.
Aston Villa are kind of fizzling out,
Yes.
so to say. And
The
I think
muscular
maybe their
injuries
squad, yeah, the squad is being depleted by injuries, and Emery has not really found a way to cope. He's scrambling in the transfer market to get guys in. So hopefully they pick up, because they have been very magnificent this season from when they picked
Can
up.
they stop Bournemouth from scoring?
No, definitely not. Both teams to score.
Then Arsenal take on Sunderland.
That's a straight win for Arsenal.
Then Wolves Chelsea.
I think Arsenal were the people that started the demise of Sunderland. From when Sunderland encountered Arsenal, their life has not been the same. So I think they'll still.
What about Wolves versus Chelsea?
Wolves.
are
I see
playing at home.
another win for Rose Maresca for
Rosinho.
Rosinho. Good one for him. He has had the opportunity to build momentum with some fixtures,
Mhm.
barring the two matches in between, the two semi-finals with us against Arsenal in between. He has had some kind fixtures. So hopefully he can continue to build momentum and take his team up the table.
Can Newcastle come back from what happened to them at Anfield? They're playing Brentford at home.
Well, at St. James's Park, they can. Are they at the G-Tech or at St. James's?
St. James Park.
Well, I think they'll get one
Brentford
over
went
Bournemouth.
to Villa Park to win 1-0
Well,
with 10 men.
That one at Villa Park. When they park for this side, they go see say St. James's Park, na different park. You don't understand?
In Italy, Genoa will take on Napoli. Can Napoli win away from home? They won over the weekend 2-1.
Napoli are showing some spirit, so they'll get their result. It's going to be hard, but they'll get their result.
They were knocked out of Europe entirely last week.
We have always known that
Italian
Conte does
champions.
not do well in Europe. We have had a discussion about this on the show. The guy, they play the same people till injuries scatter in team. So I don't always expect much from him in Europe, but he's a specialist in the league. So
Then on Sunday, Brighton will take on Crystal Palace.
Brighton, Crystal Palace.
Then the match of the weekend, Liverpool, Man City at Anfield.
So after this match, we can as well declare Arsenal as champions of England in the waiting.
That's if City do not win that match.
Whether they win or they don't win, because I can assure you, with what we saw over the weekend and with the position Arsenal is in, their squad is so strong. I don't see anybody stopping them anymore.
Then Ademola Lookman has made his move to
Atletico Madrid. Yeah,
they're trying to see if he can play the midweek match, but we as Pontis, we're looking at the weekend match because that's where the actual view and viewership are really interested in. On Sunday, Atletico Madrid will take on Real Betis, which is a very tough match, and Valencia will take on Real Madrid.
So I expect a Real Madrid win or draw. It's going to be a tough fixture for them because they have lost Jude Bellingham to injury.
Madrid are playing away at the Mestalla.
So it's going to be really tough for them. But I expect them to grind out the result. They always do, or they have always found a way to, even though they have had one or two hiccups. But we expect them to get a win in that match. Atletico Madrid will be seeing Ademola Lookman possibly turn out for the first time for his new team.
But Betis are a very good team.
They are a very tough team also. But I expect they drew over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Simeone's teams are always one kind.
Did you hear the gist that he's leaving at the end of the season?
Yeah, he should. I think just like Guardiola, he has spent so much time in that team. He has done the best that he can. It's time for fresh blood. So making step aside. But we wish him the best. He's an absolute legend, both as a player and as a manager at
Then in Italy, Sassuolo will take on Inter. Then Juventus will take on Lazio.
That's a very tough one, Juventus, Lazio. But with the renaissance of the old lady, I expect them to get a win or draw.
So
and then
Sassuolo versus Inter.
Give Inter their flowers. They are taking that one straight to the bank.
Then the clash of the weekend. There's a name they call it. PSG takes on Marseille.
How do they? Is it the classic?
The classic.
Le classic. Today we don't speak French. Well,
classic.
PSG and Marseille. This is one of the most open classics you will ever see. Both teams are not really on song, but they are capable of
Marseille
big moments.
Over the weekend.
So
they were leading 2-0 and they drew the match.
Yeah, against Paris FC. It's against Paris FC. I had an eye on that game. So they were unfortunate, but of course their defending cost them. So I would expect goals in that fixture. That's all I can say.
because
Goals.
the gap has been cut. Lens is second now. I think PSG are leading with about 3 or 4 points. I don't really know.
So it's going to be an open game. Just expect goals if you are, you know what I mean. Talking about movement, Ademola Lookman moving. A lot of our Eagle stars have either been linked with moves or have been
Which
on the
player
move.
went to Porto?
Terence Murphy left Nice. He and Jeremy Boga were attacked by Nice fans, so they ripped up their contracts. And Jeremy Boga also landed, I think, in Italy or so, either in Juventus or about. He landed in Juventus, has been unveiled as a Juve player. Terence Murphy joins Zaidu Sanusi at Porto. Tochukwu Nadi also left Zut Wagerem
And
and
signed I saw it
yeah,
today.
I think he landed in Germany. So
Is it Germany he went to?
yeah, those are some moves by the
Then
players. Your favorite clubs are also
this Ivorian player that really dealt with us in the final, Odinga.
Odinga,
He le-
Adingra.
Adingra. He went to Monaco
So there are a couple of moves
for
and
loan. Then
loan with option to buy. There are a couple of moves to also keep an eye on for these for the deadline day and so on. But generally, some clubs have strengthened. Liverpool snatched Jeremy Jacquet from under Chelsea's noses, and he's for the summer, which is unfortunate. I don't understand why you spend 60 million on a defender when your defense is depleted, and you're saying he's going to come in during the summer. But I guess maybe they were looking at it and they had to pay the price to get the player. Maybe allowing him to play till the end of the season was also part of the
they
deal.
might have missed him.
Yeah. So I don't. But again, the logic is bizarre. Maguire, an experienced Premier League professional, you couldn't pay 20 million for him. You couldn't pay his wages, but you are paying 60 million for an unproven 20-year-old from France.
I still do not understand why.
Well,
before we go on the show, what's the gang up against Ugarte?
Ugarte is just an unfortunate player. Chelsea fans are now rejoicing. They feel like they dodged the bullet by not signing him. But there are players that struggle when they come to the Premier League. Unfortunately for Ugarte, he's one of them. I mean, looking at his skill set, you would expect that he's somebody who would take to the Premier League like Dr. Water. He's physical, he's aggressive. He doesn't have that much pace, but he's a tackler. But unfortunately, the move has not worked out for him. Maybe it's also the environment of the club that he found himself. And he's going to be, a lot of people have been scapegoats at one point or another in Manchester. Casemiro has been a scapegoat.
He's leaving at the end of the season.
Maino has been a scapegoat. Forget all these things now because they are not playing him. Bruno Fernandes has been a scapegoat at one point in time. Marcus Rashford has been a scapegoat. Everybody, the Højlund, Maguire, even the coach has been Onana. Everybody has been a scapegoat. So
if you leave Rennes, he will call all the players.
No, but it's true. These are players that Manchester United fans they abuse.
Our dear viewers, we need you more than ever. Kindly subscribe to all our channels, especially YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, right?
Yes.
And which other one again?
X.
And X.
Well, let us not be your X podcast. Let's be your current
We
podcast.
need you because without you, we can't be here every week. Your support is really, really needed. Please.
All right, guys. I beg, make una continue the like, the subscribe, the share our content. I know say they make sense, but you too, you need to tell other people say we dey here, they cook things where they feel enjoy. Once again, we appreciate you. We thank you. And until we come back next week, stay winning and stay blessed.